Welcome back, everybody. Well, NASA's Orion capsule, has made its way back to Earth. It made a blistering return, in fact, hitting the atmosphere at about 32 times the speed of sound and enduring temperatures of 5,000 degrees. That's like a Georgia summer, before splashing down in the Pacific Ocean just west of Mexico's Baja Peninsula.
This is what mission success looks like, folks. This was a challenging mission, and this is what mission success looks like.
The splashdown wraps up the Artemis-1's 3-week mission to the moon. As Newsy's Clayton Sandell now explains, the goal was to collect data for the next Artemis mission and ensure the capsule could return safely here to Earth.
After a 1.4 million-mile mission around the moon and back, the Artemis-1 Orion space capsule is home.
From Tranquility Base to Taurus Littrow to the tranquil waters of the Pacific, the latest chapter of NASA's journey to the moon comes to a close.
As Orion approached Earth Sunday,
this is a live view of the Earth from a distance of 15,000 miles away.
The peaceful flight turned into a hellish nail-biter, the capsule careening toward Earth's atmosphere at 25,000 miles an hour.
The temperatures around the heat shield are reaching about 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the moment of truth for Orion.
The heat shield, designed to protect the capsule from temperatures half as hot as the surface of the sun, appeared to pass the test.
And there it is, high over the Pacific, America's new ticket to ride to the moon and beyond now in view.
Navy ships and helicopters recovered the capsule from the Pacific Ocean, 300 miles south of San Diego.
3, 2, 1.
The mission launched last month from Florida.
And liftoff of Artemis-1. We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
The most powerful rocket ever built, sending the Orion capsule on a 25-day test flight. As it buzzed the moon, Orion sent back spectacular close-up pictures.
For Orion, this is not a goodbye, but a see you later to the moon.
There were no astronauts on board, but future flights, Artemis-2 and Artemis-3, will complete NASA's plan to land the first woman and the first person of color on the surface of the moon sometime this decade.
This is a defining day. It is one that marks new technology, a whole new breed of astronaut, a vision for the future.
NASA hopes the success of the mission will help pave the way for the Artemis generation, astronauts who will not only return to the moon, but one day go on to Mars. Clayton Sandell, Newsy.
And joining us now with more insight into what the Artemis-1 mission accomplished, we welcome former astronaut and International Space Station Commander Roy Chow. Good morning, sir. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, good to be back with you.
Absolutely. So we had a successful splashdown of the capsule, and it really does kind of mark the end of at least phase one of NASA's Artemis program. So what did we learn during this particular phase, and what role does it play in how things proceed from here?
Well, this was a very successful flight test. There were only a few smaller, relatively minor glitches with the power system, the antennas, and with the star trackers, but by and large, it came through extremely well. Engineers will, of course, be poring over the data over the next few days and weeks and months, and coming up with looking at for any anomalies and anything else that might keep us from getting to put astronauts on the next flight. But the way it looks, everything, including the most critical part, that heat shield, enduring over around 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit at peak heating, seems to have done very, very well.
So it took a while to get this thing up there. We had a few delays. The next phase, as you were saying, that involves putting people in this capsule, sending it around the moon and back in 2024, with the hopes of sending people up to the moon again 2025, 2026. So based on your experience, expertise, do you think we're ready to go back to the moon in the next 3 years? Is that something we're going to have happen?
I think in the next few years we'll see the circumlunar flight, that is the mission to the moon with astronauts that orbits the moon but doesn't land. The lander is not yet built. It's contracts have been let for it to be developed and built and tested, but that really is kind of an open question, is how long that's going to take. So I'm pretty confident that in the next few years we will see an orbital flight around the moon with astronauts, kind of a little bit of a repeat of Apollo 8, but then the landing hopefully before this decade is out, but it's still kind of an open question.
Layman's question, and my apologies, it's going to sound glib, but I don't mean it to. We've done the moon thing in this country famously before, so what's the big deal this time around for round 2 of what we accomplished decades ago? And I say that obviously as a complete novice when it comes to space travel.
No, sure. That's a very legitimate question that I think a lot of people have on their minds. The answer is in the 1960s, this was a race to the moon. Who could get humans to the moon first? It was seen as a life and death for the country versus the Soviet Union. And so we had to get there first. And so the program ended after just a few missions, and we kind of declared victory and never went back. Going back this time is different. It's not really a competition, I don't think, as far as some people have framed it with China, although China, of course, has publicly said they intend to send their astronauts to the moon. It's more a matter of doing sustainable exploration beyond low Earth orbit. That means getting to the moon, building some infrastructure there that we can use to help develop hardware and train astronauts for a Mars mission in the future. The reason you do all that on the moon is pretty close. It's only 3 or 4 days away. If you have any issues, you can get your crew back pretty quickly. Mars, on the other hand, even when the planets are lined up, you're talking about 6 months one way to and from Mars. So you want to make sure everything's going to work and your crews are well trained before you get them out there.
So now let me ask you this. Are you pro installation of having like a lunar base, full-time, fully manned lunar base in the near future? Because I am.
Lunar base, I think, is key for that infrastructure, but it doesn't have to be permanently crewed. You don't always have to have people there. You can have people go up, astronauts go up, and when they have things to do and things to test and work to do, then they go and kind of open up the base, and they live there for the extent of their mission, test the hardware, develop the hardware, come back, and then kind of close it back up. It's a lot more expensive and logistically more challenging to always have people on board. This is a very different situation than the International Space Station, where you kind of need to have a crew on board because there are any number of failures that could actually cause the loss of the station to literally fall out of orbit. On the moon, it's going to be sitting there fine, just like your vacation home. And, you know, when you need it, you can go out there and use it.
It's like the condo, you just pay the HOA fee and then you go and use it when you want. So would you go back to the moon, and would you also consider, because they know you were up there, they know all your medical things, would you consider a Mars trip?
I would love a chance to go back to the moon. You know, I was 8 years old when Apollo 11 landed on the moon, and that helped inspire me to want to dream about becoming an astronaut myself. And yes, I would go back to the moon, and I would go to Mars, because by the time we mount a Mars mission, my teenage children will be grown and hopefully launched into the world. And then, yeah, I would happily go to Mars, but I want to come back. I don't want to be one of these scenarios where some people are saying we leave people out there. I would love to explore Mars, but I definitely want to come back to Earth.
I don't blame you.
And your kids will be teenagers, so while you're at the moon, they're going to have a big party at your house while you're up there. Former NASA astronaut Leroy Chiao, thanks so much for giving us some time and insight. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right.